it becomes this sacred thing, which again, food is supposed to be delicious, but we've become really obsessed about it and the idea of it because we don't know when we're going to get it again. And that creates a very seeking, unhealthy dynamic with food.
Do you find often that folks do restrict, or is this just like a very not so much thing?
A lot of people restrict. Most humans have been taught the language of restriction as norm.
What's this language you talking about? I'm not bilingual. I'm not bilingual.
The language of like what? Cutting carbs, no sugar, fat-free, trans fat, like all these different fads, keto, all this stuff. It all is based around restriction and control from an outside perspective versus listening to your body and what your body wants. But the lie is that we can't trust our bodies, but you can't trust a body that's existing out of scarcity because it's fearful. Your body thinks it's dying. Your body thinks it doesn't have access to food. So it's not going to make the best balanced decisions because it doesn't think that it has access to those things.
I'm going to make a little pivot here. So when you're working with a client that's dealt with this type of like thing and they come to your office, let's say they present with some of the first couple scenes, shy, anxious, avoidant, insecure, self-loathing, right? Kind of hate themselves because their own fatness and fat phobia, right? Because it's been internalized. What does that process even look like working with a client?
Ooh, it can look like a bunch of different things depending on if we're starting from a food perspective. I like to talk about our relationship with food. If we're working on like a self-worth perspective, I like to talk about our relationship with the word fat. And I love to educate people on the reasons that diets don't really work. And I often use their own examples. Like, so how many diets have you been on in your life? And most people will say like 10, 20. And like, how many of them worked? None. Okay. So are you this inherent failure, or is maybe the treatment not working? And we kind of play around with how society often has a different narrative. Diet culture has a different narrative because they make billions of dollars off of our self-hatred. Like they make bank off of us hating ourselves. So they're going to convince us at all costs. Even insurance companies make bank off of those things.
Yeah. Let's say I'm that person. I'm the client. And I come into the office. I'm like, you know what? Everyone's been telling me I'm this, I'm fat, I need to lose weight. My doctors tell me I need to lose weight. My insurance is going up. I'm unhealthy, supposedly, right? And and I don't think I can get with any women or men, doesn't matter. I don't think I can get a partner because I'm too fat and too ugly. I believe that this body is an ugly body, and I don't even think that it deserves to be with anyone else. What would you say to someone that said that last little bit to you?
So much. One thing is if we are only watching one type of media, we are going to believe all of those truths. If I was just watching television, I would believe that everyone looks like what they look on Selling Sunset. Like everyone's in 10-foot heels and stick figure thin. And because that's all I'm being given, I don't get to see that other big realities exist. So I encourage everyone when they start doing this work to follow a bunch of fat people on the internet, like as many as you can possibly find, and to hide the thin ones for a little while. Okay. You can bring them back later, but right now we already have every commercial, every media, every book, they're describing it's thin people. The thin people are the default. I want you to load yourself up with fat people because arguably we do have higher numbers than the thin people. So there are more larger bodied people, or at least in the middle over number wise, like they exist, right? Yep. And then another activity I have people do is I have them go to a public place and look at all the couples that they see and make a point to be aware of the size discrepancies and attraction discrepancies, and if they're actually measuring up with what they believe, because people are attracted to all types of different people, and it's not always as accurate in the wild as what you get exposed to in television and advertising.
But therapist Kayla, I probably got a better chance though if I lose this next 20 pounds. All I got to do is lose this 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm. I would probably encourage some exploration on a different goal that isn't weight-based. So if your goal is that you want to move more, all right, let's go for walks, man. Like, that doesn't have to do with your weight. If you want to eat more fruit or drink more water, all right, good, do that. Yeah, I like to challenge why weight is it's like the only health marker that we use to assess value.
Okay, there you go. Well, what about this shot I heard about now? I get this Ozempic now, shoot it right in my forehead. They say I'm gonna lose 50 pounds. And then
in your head?
And then right in my head. Right in my head. And then that's, I'm gonna be skin thin and then my junk gonna look bigger then. So, I gotta lose weight now because I got that python now, You're gonna
have to lose a lot.
But trust me, this is what people are talking about. Is this Ozempic losing weight to be more sexually attractive, to look better in certain areas? Maybe they'll get the Coke bottle look for women, right? And so, hey, you therapists, I've heard about this thing. I think it could be magnificent for me. Why shouldn't I try it?
So I don't know if it's particularly I really respect people's autonomy over their body. Okay. So if someone is like really, really into doing this, I'm going to help them process the experience. And that's something that took a lot of my own work to be able to sit and do, but it's their body at the end of the day. And I do have clients who take those things and I sit and I even lay it out because they know me, they follow me, they know that I'm loud about all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm their therapist and I'm like their ride or die. Like, we're going to figure this out together. And I get why you feel that way. Society smashes it into you. Like, it's okay to be tired and to not want to deal with it. Like, I understand.
Okay. The reason why I brought that up, and I'm going to pivot back to Spencer and the scenes, is because, I've got clients that are on it too and that want to lose weight. And I'm like, okay, we're going to do this the healthy way though. We're not doing this crazy shit. We're going to move our body a little bit more, lose a little bit of weight at a time. The goal is to get more energy to feel better, not necessarily drop 30 pounds fucking instantly. And so we monitor things, right? We don't look at the scale a lot depending on what we're doing because I got some folks with legit eating disorders. And I'm like, okay, we got to watch these numbers or not watch the numbers.
Yeah, I'm not pro using weight as a determination for any purpose other than like getting medication correct.
Yep. Good point. And so that's
the only one that I can. Yeah. Sorry.
The Ozempic thing's a real question now, right? I mean, that's everyone's getting on it. And this is self-admission, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I went on it because the doctor's like, hey, give it a shot. I said, fuck it, I'll give it a shot because it worked for my brother because he has legit diabetes and he got his numbers down, lost weight. Gave it a shot. So 1 out of 5 now, Spencer, the new numbers is 1 out of 5, has horrific side effects. Horrific.
Yep.
And mine were so bad, like I legitimately was suicidal. I'd be in the bed crying for hours and hours and hours.
Scary.
Because the pain in my abdomen was so bad. I couldn't drink water. I couldn't eat. I looked at my dad. I said, what's the point of living? If I can't eat or drink anything, I was like, this is fucking pointless. And I said, this is the only thing I enjoy. Yeah. And now you take it from me? I said, fuck this, man. No, fuck this. Yeah. I don't do nothing else. So have you seen that? Any bad side effects from your clients? And then the shame that they can't lose weight because that was the cure-all?
Absolutely. Yeah, especially because I also have a lot of clients who have diabetes and their weight doesn't change either. Like, so even if you have diabetes and you're taking it for diabetic reasons, your body still might not change, but it might lower your numbers. Like if it's for that, wonderful. But then I have a lot of people who talk about hair loss and they talk about significant digestive issues. And it kind of reminds me of gastric bypass. And there's a lot of long-term complications from that as well that you're not really told about in the process. Like no one's thinking long term. They're just like, hey, you'll be skinny and all your problems will go away. But most of those cure-alls have a lot of digestive issues associated with them and don't always actually lead to consistent weight loss. I'm pretty sure Ozempic has only been tested for like 2 years. Like maybe it's 3. And that's as far as they've even looked at it. So they have no idea what its longevity is,
Impacts.
or if it has any long-term side effects.
They're saying it's going to be pretty bad, and they're saying it's going to cause massive eating disorders long term. Massive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Spence will, go for this. I mean, right after I took that shot, I haven't been the same. I was straight. Now I'm gay.
Yeah. You sleeping in a bed with your best friend. I think that might have.
We were just wrestling.
No, it was the Ozempic.
You were cuddling.
It was Ozempic. It was vaccines. That's what it was.
All the
It was the
vaccines. They shouldn't have
Makes you
vaccinated
gay.
me when I was infant.
Vaccines make you gay. That's what Joe Rogan believes.
Autistic or gay.
Autistic is gay.
Autistic.
Fucking
You
Joe
choose.
Rogan. Fucking guy. All right, back to Spence.
All right. So the next scene, we have their first time meeting Tony. And he explains how he was once, he was 319 pounds.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Check out the full episode on our channel and anywhere you find podcasts. Also, remember to like and subscribe. Whoop whoop!